Psychological safety in high-risk workplaces. Psychological safety is an essential factor in any organization. It's even more critical in high-risk workplaces like industrial facilities, construction sites, and manufacturing plants. Psychologically safe work sites are environments where workers can take risks, express their ideas, and be open to constructive feedback without out-of-hand criticism or other forms of stigma. More on stigma later in this article. With psychological safety, work teams tend to be more productive, innovative, and successful. There are 4 stages where high-risk organizations can promote and then harness the power of psychological safety. Trust building, sustaining an environment of safety, building systems that provide incentives for collaboration, and finally, mechanisms that ensure meaningful learning is gained from mistakes. Organizations that plan and execute at each stage will benefit from improved psychological safety of their workers, field leaders, and management. What is psychological safety? It's the concept that team members feel safe enough to take risks and be vulnerable in the workplace. In many ways, these behaviors, like risk-taking, are discouraged in high-risk workplaces. Management in progressive organizations tend to emphasize defensive thinking and behaviors when it comes to the physical safety of personnel and facilities. This is why psychological safety needs a different mindset in high-risk industries. New thinking and habits include the idea that team members can be open to constructive feedback, ask for help, and feel confident in their abilities without worrying about the consequences of their actions. In an organization with high psychological safety, employees feel comfortable making mistakes and learning from those mistakes, which helps them grow personally and professionally. On the other hand, team members feel they need to be perfect without psychological safety and hide any mistakes they make. This can lead to stagnation in an organization because no one wants to risk looking wrong. When an organization has high levels of psychological safety, it becomes much more productive as individuals feel free to experiment, learn, and contribute their ideas without fear of reprisals. The benefits of psychological safety: increased productivity. Freedom to speak and promote new ideas and work methods are a positive outcome of safer workplaces. Likewise, more innovation occurs when social barriers to innovation erode and eventually disappear. Individuals can break out of their usual thinking patterns and create new solutions to old problems. In organizations where safety is low, team members are more likely to play it safe and use the same methods as before. This leads to stagnation and lack of creativity. Thirdly, increased collaboration. Collaboration is more likely when team members feel safe being open and expressing their thoughts. This is because individuals are more likely willing to help each other and share their ideas, rather than keeping them a secret in case they are deemed wrong or the ideas are rejected. 4 elements that require management leadership. Trust building. Trust is the foundation built through consistent, positive interactions between management, field leadership, and workers. Positive interactions can be anything from saying thank you for a job well done to offering other constructive feedback. To build trust, team members need to feel like there is a safe environment for them to experiment. This means leaders are consistent in their communication, their feedback is constructive, and mistakes are universally considered to be learning opportunities. Creating an environment of safety, item 3. While trust is being established, move on to creating an atmosphere of safety. This involves leaders modeling the positive behaviors they want to see in the rest of the organization, like being open to feedback, asking for help, and being human in their interactions. Finally, encouraging collaboration. Once an environment of safety has been created, promote cooperation among teams and team members. This involves creating processes that enable open communication, like regular team meetings. Team members should feel safe enough to share their ideas and ask for help when needed. This can be done by creating a culture where there are no stupid questions, where individuals feel confident enough to ask questions without fear of judgment. Considerations for high-risk organizations. Start with the basics. Even if an organization has struggled with communication and worker support previously, positive change is probable with the steady implementation of psychological safety elements. The willingness for management to lead is almost always the first step in a better direction. Communicate consistently. Psychological safety is going to feel different in most workplaces. Every stakeholder, starting with the CEO, will likely learn a new way to talk about ideas and opinions. How individuals react to change and innovation will evolve and mature. Remember, management doesn't have a corner on the good ideas market. Talk as an organization about stigma. It will take time for new attitudes and behaviors to take root, but consistent messaging over time will start to turn the ship. Stigma is commonly considered to include stereotyping, which is having a previous idea or set of beliefs about what a particular type of person is like. For example, the term blue collar, which applies to many job roles in high-risk industries, is heavily and wrongly stereotyped by society in general. Prejudice in high-risk workplaces can be as common as false barriers placed against staff from another department or craft. Discrimination. A recent report found that 97% of people from working-class families that their social class background affected their work experience. But other, more subtle and common forms of stigma are damaging as well. Shutting down or talking over a colleague because you disagree with them, rolling your eyes and making gestures intended to undermine a person's point of view are all culturally corrosive behaviors. In psychologically safe organizations, these behaviors are discouraged from the C-suite to the field. Bring awareness to the language of your workplace. Constant communication about scrubbing out stigma within the organization will gradually reset expectations at all levels of the company. Model psychological safety for your team members. Because psychological safety is about vulnerability, modeling this for your team members will help them understand what it looks like. For example, managers can ask their direct reports for input and take those ideas forward without taking credit for them. A leader talking about her own mistakes with the team builds trust and creates a platform for similar dialogue as the culture improves. Practical steps for measuring progress and impact. Educate and coach your senior leaders on psychological safety in the workplace. This is relatively new subject matter that executives and senior managers need to understand before they can lead effectively. Second, teach active listening skills to line managers. Thoughtful listeners ask questions to get clarity and draw out the speaker's ideas and perspective. If people feel they are being listened to, they are more likely to make suggestions, express doubts, or speak up when they don't think an idea will work. Survey your organization. Ask stakeholders up and down the organization about their psychological safety. The surveys can be anonymous and used to track beliefs and behaviors in the organization over time. In conclusion, psychological safety is a concept that can have a significant impact on an organization. It involves creating an environment where team members feel safe to take risks, express their ideas, and be open to constructive feedback. When psychological safety is fostered, teams can become more productive, innovative, and successful.